Okay, so guys, I just had a little major breakthrough, and I wanted to share with you what it was that I discovered because it was just such a cool thing. So the old input system, right? The old input system is um, what most of our tutorials talk about when we're learning how to do click to move or anything like that in a game. It always uses the old input.getMouse button. It doesn't use or rarely uses the event-based input. And uh, so anyway, I was experimenting today and I came up with just kind of a cool breakthrough. So I was doing click to move type stuff and I wanted to make selectable characters. And I figured out that what I needed to do was to make a selectable class, which you can see here. And all this little guy does is you put him on a component and it implements the IPointerClickHandler and then invokes an event that other things can subscribe to. So the first thing I did was I made a class called player characters. And so what the player characters class does is it looks for all of the child characters that have the selectable class. So I just, you know, um, I look at all the children. This is probably not the most efficient way, but anyway, I looked at all the children to see if they had the selectable class. And if they did, I registered the event and then call on selection for active character. So this is active character here. And so what active character does is it just activates the Emerald AI and sets it and moves the camera to follow the target. So if we look here, this is the first thing that happened. And here we go. So I can click on each of these characters then, and the follow camera moves to go behind them. Okay, and these guys are all stashed up here in this players folder, and you'll see the players game object has the player character script, and then active character is just this game object right here. So it's actually just an empty game object, also with the active character script that links to the follow camera rig, and the follow camera rig is part of the Cinti standard assets. Okay, so not Cinti, Unity standard assets. Okay, so then the big thing happened is I wanted to do click to move, and so what I did is I have so this is the Cinti Polygon Dungeons demo scene that you're looking at here, and I reorganized it, and so I have this empty game object called Dungeon, which is what I bake my nav mesh surface on, and underneath it is all of the other parts. I've subdivided the entire level. I've had a great time playing around. But the key is that I put this click to move script on the dungeon, not on the camera, not on the player character. I put it on the dungeon, and then I link the active character game object up here, and I have a layer mask that is, so it's just the ground, any layers that are ground on the click to move script. So then what I thought I was going to have to do was go to each of these tiles. Okay, I was going to have to go to each of these tiles and add the selectable script to it. So this is the big reveal. This is the thing that I didn't realize until all of a sudden I realized it. I said, wait a minute, okay. In collision meshes are inherited. The parent game object inherits the collision meshes of its children or something like that. To some extent, that's what's happening. And I said, okay, well, can I put my selectable object, instead of putting it on, I need to open that back up. Instead of putting it on each of these individual tiles, can I just put it on the ground object? And I did. So I put it on the ground object, which has no collision meshes at all, but all of these tiles are part of it. You can kind of see them all highlighted here. And I just activated this selectable script. So And all selectable is, I think I showed this, all it is this IPointerClickHandler. And so I put it on just the kind of the topmost ground hierarchy game object, just like that. And I tested it. I just opened it up and I said, okay, what's going to happen here? And if you look, the characters, they move around now on the mesh. Oops, got a little nuts there. They go up the stairs. Okay, and all I did was put that selectable script on the, that was crazy. I was completely, so I don't know who needs to know that, but there you go.